Some people study disease and how to treat it. For over 40 years, I've found it more valuable to study optimal health and wellness and strategies to achieve and maintain it. Back in 2001, I was pretty surprised to learn that polar bears in the wild were experiencing osteoporosis and hypothyroidism from the toxins that were migrating to the waters in the Arctic. The plankton are exposed to toxins, and the minnows and bait fish eat the plankton, larger fish eat the minnows, and seals eat the larger fish. Polar bears eat the larger fish and seals. The consequence of these toxins is causing hypothyroidism and osteoporosis in animals living in the most pristine environment. I was later concerned when Prozac was found in the tissue of freshwater bluegills by Baylor University toxicologists. This added a line of thinking I hadn't even considered. People take drugs, and then the drugs and their metabolites are excreted as they urinate. Eventually, these molecules end up in freshwater reserves and are found in tissues of fish people catch and eat. Later in 2007, I learned that male fish caught in the Potomac contained eggs in their testes from estrogenic-like chemicals dumped in the river. Whether from birth control pills or fertilizers, something was amiss for the male fish to have eggs in their testes. Living too close to cities, I rationalized. More recently, an article in National Geographic discusses how scientists from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the U.S. Geological Survey studied fish in 19 national wildlife refuges in the northeast United States. Their conclusion, an astonishing 60 to 100% of all the male smallmouth bass they examined had female egg cells growing in their testes. One of the scientists commented, "Reproductive impairment isn't the only concern." In the Potomac and Susquehanna rivers, they've seen an increase in diseases, die-offs, and infections in some fish species. Their immune systems are weak, and these health problems seem to correlate with the number of intersexed fish. New researchers find mussels in the Puget Sound have detectable levels of oxycodone. The pharmaceutical drug finds its way into the waterways via urine of pain patients. A scientist from Oceans Alliance, an entire organization dedicated to study whales in the wild, shared a disturbing personal communication. These scientists use drones to capture the spray from whales as they surface and release water from their lungs. The spray reflects the composition of their lung tissue. Sadly, these ocean-dwelling creatures are tainted as well. Much like the fish or mussels don't know they're exposed to chemicals, we are unknowingly exposed to phthalates. Phthalates or phthalic esters are esters of phthalic acid. They're mainly used as plasticizers or substances added to plastics to increase their flexibility, transparency, durability, and longevity. They're a toxic class of chemicals that are ubiquitous in everyday life. And because they're not listed on product labels, phthalates are next to impossible to avoid. They're in household items like vinyl flooring, personal products for hair care, body wash, even some cosmetics, fragrances, household cleaners, and food. Even for those who either avoid these products or buy phthalate-free variations, phthalates lurk in unexpected places. In food, for example, even milk packaged in glass may have passed through plastic tubes on its way from the cow to the bottle, taking the phthalate DEHP along with it. Milking machines use a lot of plastic, and DEHP is free and very lipophilic, fat-soluble. And milk is full of lipids, so it just pulls the DEHP out of the plastic tubing and into the milk, explains Robin Wyatt, professor of environmental health sciences at the Columbia University Medical Center and the lead author on several landmark phthalate studies. The fact is, you can't know if a food has phthalates in it. You can suspect, but it's almost impossible to know. That makes them hard to avoid. Phthalate chemicals have been linked to multiple health concerns, including infertility, autism spectrum disorders, asthma, ADHD, cardiovascular concerns, obesity, behavior issues, thyroid problems, and cancer. Earlier discussions highlighted the dangers of GMO foods and foods routinely sprayed with glyphosate as a desiccant or drying agent. Taken as a whole, we can see how environmental toxins in food and water affect how we think and feel. Knowing real-life studies like this make it easier to talk about regular routine cleansing with your clients. We want to communicate in as many ways as possible that it's the total daily environmental toxins we're exposed to that are overwhelming our immune, neurological, and reproductive systems. These toxins impair mitochondrial functioning, fostering low energy states and an inability to repair, resulting in a host of conditions. This cumulative toxic load is also the primary spark for developing autoimmune disease. Toxins are unavoidable, But downloading them on a regular basis is a conscious choice that all of us can make if we have enough of the right information. You have solutions, and you can lead the way. The NutriClerk Plus Cleanse program gives you an easy to implement, cost-effective option. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Tuesday.